What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you up to date on what is going on. And looks like Bitcoin is still holding on to that 68, 69, 67 range. So are we going to be able to touch $7,000? We had that spike since Iran. There's just been a lot of news going on in this past, what was it, a couple months? Let's do the year to date. Let's do at least a year. There's been so much stuff going on we started from current to previous. We had Iran news going on, which caused the price go up. We had Jane Street kind of manipulating the market rumors going on. Before that, we have the Epstein files that came out. And then what else was going on? Was it Venezuela or, oh my gosh, so much stuff's going on with the news in this past year. But I think this is kind of like the end of it. So hopefully we start going up and we experience a nice little green month and then hopefully some continuous ones. But Bitcoin's doing good right now. Our fear and greed index, we aren't in extreme fear anymore. So that's a positive sign. We're at a 20. But what's going on in the news today? I guess, what did I say this title was called again? On-demand hash rate. We heard this news like last week, was it, where a solo miner was renting hash power and ended up solving a block in the blockchain. And just again, another block was found using on-demand hash rate. So a miner rented 6 petahashes through Brain's hash power and pointed it to a parasite pool, landing block 938,713, and then earning 3.125 Bitcoin subsidy. The budget he had was $200, and the hash power fees $0. So parasite pool operates as a hybrid model. The miner who solves the block receives 1 full Bitcoin, with the remaining reward distributed among pool contributors. Now, the structure kept the lottery feel of solo mining while supporting broader hash rate decentralization through a smaller growing pool. So I guess like this guy, since he used, Brains, and he used the parasite pool, so he spent $200 and he ended up getting 1 full Bitcoin, while the other 2.125 Bitcoin was shared in the parasite pool itself. Now, someone tweeted out here, $200 and 3.125 Bitcoin out. Well, technically got 1. But the real story isn't the profit, it's that on-demand hash rate markets plus pools like Parasite are making mining decentralization economically viable again. This is how you fight mining centralization, not with regulations, but with better market design. So right now there's 2 of these companies out there that I'm hearing about. Brains was the one that even solved the last solo block, but there's also Nice Hash. And there's a couple of practical ways people are utilizing on-demand hash rate, from outage protection for mining farms or hosting facilities to testing new algorithms and coins and optimizing revenue during low reward periods. Now, mining multiple coins simultaneously, you can do that with on-demand hashing, maximize hardware utilization, and participate in mining pools or specialized tasks. So that's what this one gentleman did and won that free Bitcoin. And so in conclusion, NiceHash Marketplace provides a flexible, practical solution for miners and crypto enthusiasts to leverage on-demand hash rate, whether you're testing new coins, optimizing profits, or diversifying your mining activity. So these are why people usually borrow against, or they rent hashing power. And let's see, buying hash rate with Brain's hash power. So these are the 2 companies these guys are using to solve these blocks out there. But instant hash rate direct from Brains, buy Bitcoin hash rate and run it where you want, or use one-click solo mining packages without owning or operating hardware. So what is Brains hash power? If you didn't know, Brains has been building Bitcoin mining infrastructure for more than a decade now. Now you can get on-demand hash rate direct from us. Brains hash power lets you buy Bitcoin hash rate and deploy it immediately. No hardware to buy, no hosting or power contracts, no fleet to operate. Hashrate runs on real mining infrastructure and is routed to the pool or solo endpoint that you choose. And this is public beta, and we're improving it quickly. So again, you use your hash rate your way. So this eliminates the need for you having to run your own mining machines, your own mining farms and pools out there. You just rent the power and direct it to someone else's. So I think this is actually kind of picking up. I wonder when we're going to get news on the next solo miner or the next solo block to be solved by this. Or is it really solo? The next block, let's just call it that. But so another one hits it. So are you going to give this a try? Let me know. But what's going on in the crypto space today? Can the US lawmakers pass crypto market structure before the midterms? I don't know, but let's find out. So while the White House has hosted 3 meetings to discuss how to address stablecoin yield and Senate market structure bill, there are no signs of a solution. Now, while the U.S. Senate lawmakers have been working to pass a comprehensive digital asset market structure bill since July, some industry observers in Washington say progress could be on hold due to the government gridlock. Now, since the House of Representatives passed the Clarity Act last summer and sent the legislation to the other chamber, lawmakers have faced a historically long government shutdown, partisan divides on ethics and debates over stablecoin yield, and that have likely slowed progress on the bill, which could be further hampered by the upcoming US midterm election in November. Now, 8 months ahead of the midterms, one version of the market structure bill will focus on commodities regulation and has passed the Senate Agriculture Committee, while members of the Senate Banking Committee have yet to address a bill on security laws and regulations after the panel canceled a markup in January. Now, Rebecca Liao, co-founder and CEO at Web3 and AI protocol Saga, and a former advisor to the then US President Joe Biden during his 2020 campaign, told Cointelegraph last week that the legislation was effectively on hold. She also pushed back against comments by Ohio Senator Bernie Moreno, who said in February that Congress could pass market structure, hopefully by April, citing a lack of steam for advancing the bill. Now, earlier when the crypto markets were doing very well, when it seemed that every TradeFi institution was coming up with a crypto strategy, looking to load up on the main assets, there was a lot of more urgency around any sort of new legislation or new administrative policy coming out of the SEC, the CFTC, etc., said Lau. But now that the markets have cooled significantly, and even people within crypto are saying, we don't know, honestly, if the Trump family ended up being a good thing for crypto or not, a lot of the wind has been taken out of the sails, she added. She said it's not easy to get any sort of legislation through this Congress, and when it's on a topic that most Americans honestly still find pretty obscure, it's even harder, and it's an election year. Now, stablecoin debate rages with Trump's administration in the middle. So further complicating the matter in the Senate is the debate around stablecoin rewards, which has resulted in reported 3 meetings at the White House between Trump officials and representatives from crypto and banking industries. And some in banking have argued that having the market structure bill includes provisions allowing yield payments to stablecoin holders on third-party platforms could undermine the industry. Now, crypto advocacy organization's Digital Chamber CEO Cody Carbone spoke to Cointelegraph after attending the World Liberty Financial Forum, during which Moreno laid out his timeline on the bill. The trade group leader said the mood among some at the event, such as Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, was very optimistic on finding resolutions to move the bill forward, but outside of Moreno's April goal, there wasn't a lot of specifics. Now, the 2026 election season has already kicked off in some U.S. states, with party primaries scheduled for Tuesday in Arkansas, North Carolina, and Texas ahead of the November general election, and the Senate will also likely take about a month away for a state period in August, returning 2 months before the election. So, yeah, we'll see if it can get pushed through. But again, they're fighting against stablecoin yields, like who can produce it or who can offer it up. And again, we got the banks don't want exchanges to do it out there. We have CEO Jamie Dimon says stablecoin paying yield should be regulated by the bank. So if you're going to be holding balances and paying interest, that's a bank. You should be regulated like a bank. So he doesn't want Coinbase, Uphold, Kraken, Binance. He doesn't want those. Not just him, all the banks. They do not want these exchanges to have that power. And even if they do pass that bill, okay, fine, only the banks can do it. You know what they're going to do? They're still probably going to offer the 0.04% on your savings account and traditional fiat, and then still 0% on stable coins. I guarantee that's what they would do. So again, the Clarity Act needs a lot of revisions still, and we'll see what they come up to with it. But outside of this, the banks not wanting exchanges to be able to produce yield on stable coins, they're coming after your crypto custody, and that is true. So it's no longer a matter of if major banks will custody crypto, but a matter of when, with Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, and Barclays all lining up for it. So Morning Minute is a daily note. We don't need to cover that, but the banks are coming for crypto custody. So 3 of the world's largest banks made crypto custody moves in the past week. Now, what happened? Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, and Barclays all made announcements related to crypto custody in the past week. Morgan Stanley filed an application with the OCC on February 18 for a national trust bank charter. The proposed entity, Morgan Stanley Digital Trust National Association, would offer custody, trading swaps, staking, and stablecoin issuance under one federally regulated roof. Now, the firm's head of digital assets, Amy Oldenburg, confirmed at the Bitcoin for Corporations conference on February 25th that the bank wants to bring Bitcoin trading, lending, yield, and custody in-house. Now, Citigroup announced it will launch the institutional Bitcoin custody this year, letting clients hold Bitcoin in the same safekeeping accounts they use for equities, bonds, and cash. Now, Citi's Nisha Saranjan, who heads the product build out, called it making Bitcoin bankable. Now, Barclays separately sent RFIs to tech providers for a blockchain payment platform supporting stablecoins and tokenized deposits, with a vendor selection target of April. And the bank already has a stake in Tether adjacent stablecoin startup UBYX. Now, what they are saying, we will be offering our clients a single service model across crypto, securities, and money. And Citi's Nisha Saranjan, Oldenburg on Monday, Stanley's approach, we can just primarily rent the technology to do this. People expect Morgan Stanley. They trust our brand to be a no-fail. And then we have Bitwise CEO Hunter Horsley reacting broadly. People are going to be stunned this year. The world's largest institutions and the corporations are coming fully into crypto. Now, why it matters, Morgan Stanley has an $8 trillion in AUM. A meaningful slice of that client base already holds crypto off-platform. Now, they're betting that a portion of those clients will bring those holdings in-house. And the trusted bank structure means Morgan Stanley could custody client assets, run staking validators, issue stablecoins, and facilitate tokenized asset trading, competing directly with Coinbase Custody, BitGo, and Anchorage. Now, Citi's version is about cross-margining. Clients will be able to pledge crypto against traditional positions in the same account structure. Now, that changes the collateral game for institutions running crypto alongside equities and fixed income. Now, what makes this story different from every banks are coming headline cycle before it? They're actually here now and lining up deep. So there are now OCC charter applications in the queue for Morgan Stanley, Coinbase, Stripe-owned Bridge, Crypto.com, and World Liberty Financial simultaneously. And the OCC processed fewer than 4 de novo charter applications per year on average between 2011, 2024, and in 2025 and 2026 alone, 14 have been filed. So what does it all mean? Well, it's hard to imagine that these TradeFi giants would go through the effort to bring crypto in-house if they thought the industry was going to zero. Their adoption is a signal that they view what was once a frontier tech as maturing, and it's bullish now that we just need to be patient and let the bull case play out. So really, we gotta let this play out. They're going to be coming and they want to custody your crypto. They're hoping that some of their clients already in crypto will trust them to move their assets off self-custody and into their custody. Go, we're going to hold on and keep it safe. We're going to offer you the ability to swap in and out between your bank account, utilize it. All this really is, we need to let this play out, let them come out with it, let people choose if they want to use that or not. But for those of us in the DeFi space and really just understand crypto and Bitcoin, it's you can already be your own bank. Because like, what did this person say out here? She said, right here, Nisha Surrenda, who heads the product build, called it making Bitcoin bankable. Bitcoin is already bankable. It is banking the unbanked out there. People who don't have access to traditional bank accounts, fiat systems, but they have access to a phone, internet, they can have their own bank account. So I don't know what she's saying about it's finally making Bitcoin bankable. Bitcoin is already bankable. You have your own wallet. You have your private keys. You're in full control. You sign every transaction. There's no middleman out there. So again, Bitcoin's already bankable, and we do not need the banks to run it. They're just still trying to keep their hands into the pie just a little bit longer. That's not even a phrase. I don't even know where that saying came from. Probably combining two out there. But yeah, so banks are coming for crypto. They're going to hope the traditional retail people out there just continue on using their account, go, oh, there's crypto now. Let me add Bitcoin to it, and then continue a cycle, but leaving the banks in control of their assets and how they spend their money. So yeah, will I be using my own bank account with their crypto custody? No, the only thing I really will use them for is, well, it depends on what happens in the world. The question is, how easy can I just spend my Bitcoin from my own wallet to many stores out there? If I can do that, I don't need the banks to do it. If I can't do that so frequently as of yet, then what I will do is I'll probably just I'll use the banks instead of Coinbase, Uphold, Cash App, because it's just easier. It's like already into my bank account. That's just it. It's going to be my off-ramp solution. I don't need them for an on-ramp. I can make my own crypto and Bitcoin off of that. So yeah, so that's how I would treat it when they do come around for it. But people do need to understand self-custody and be into full control of their finance. That's the only way. That's the only smart thing anybody can ever do. Just be in full control of their finances and keep it safe. And let's see. What else is going on in the news? People in Iran are taking, that's why I had this little Twitter post afterwards. People in Iran are taking self-custody seriously, because in Iranians are buying Bitcoin and mass withdrawing it into self-custody amid the war. So Bitcoin is a flight to safety, because again, if the banks were to hold on to their Bitcoin and, like, say during war times, bank shut down, you can't go to your bank, you don't have access to your money anymore. So that's why self-custody is important. Like, they probably understand, like, if their like financial system like crumbles, they need to still be able to hold on to their money and do what they please with it. And so, yeah, I see there was a blackout shutout from January 8th to January 23rd. So the price outflows, purchasing were just stagnant or just sideways. But then once the blackout ended, Iranians were walking out of exchanges, pulling it out into their own self-custody. So that's what everyone needs to do. People just need to self-custody their crypto. Don't leave it on exchanges, because again, treat exchanges like an airport. They're a great tool to use to travel for where you want to go, but you don't live at the airport, so your crypto shouldn't be living there either. So self-custody is always the way to go. Now, let's see. So outside of the Bitcoin news, bank news, Clarity Act, actually, this still has to do with rules and stuff, because Uniswap just beats a class action lawsuit alleging it assisted crypto rug pulls. So now it's the guys who create smart contracts and out there, they're not responsible for what people do with that open source code out there. It's the scammers who are responsible. So that's how they got their victory here. So a federal judge said Uniswap isn't responsible for scam tokens traded on the crypto platform, a decision that its founder Hayden Adams said was a sensible outcome, which is true. Now, Uniswap Labs and founder Hayden Adams have won a class action lawsuit that sought to hold them liable for scam cryptocurrencies traded on its platform, ending a 4-year legal saga. Now, Manhattan federal judge Catherine Polk-Falia dismissed a suit against Uniswap on Monday with prejudice, saying that the class group can't hold Uniswap's liable for the misconduct of the unknown third-party token issuer. Now, it was the class group's second attempt to sue Uniswap, which amended their complaint in May to focus on claims of state-level consumer protection violations, arguing that Uniswap allowed rug pulls and pump-and-dump schemes, according to Judge Polk, Falia's order. Now, the group led by Nisa Risley first sued Uniswap and Adams and venture firms Paradigm, now Andreessen Horowitz and Union Square Ventures in April 2022, and their lawsuits was dismissed in August 2023, a decision that was later upheld on appeal. Now, Uniswap Adams posted on X that the ruling was a good, sensible outcome that sets a new legal precedent. So Uniswap wins another case, and that sets a new legal precedent. So if you write open source smart contract code and the code is used by scammers, the scammers are liable, not the open source devs. Good, sensible outcome. Just because this helps at least developers now. Like, why would you want to make something if you know a scammer could use it and then you're going to get in trouble for it? So again, it's not their responsibility, because again, it's like a double-edged sword. Just because a scammer will use it negatively, their platform could be used for a lot of greater good too out there. So they're not going to get the credit for that one, only if something bad happened. Now, if you write open source code, smart contract, then the code is used by scammers. The scammers are liable, not open source, he said. Now, class groups failed to claim that Uniswap helped with fraud. In her latest opinion, Judge Polk-Falia said that the class group had failed to adequately allege that the Uniswap had knowledge of the fraud and substantially assisted in commission. She added that merely creating an environment where fraud could exist is not the same as affirmatively assisting in its perpetration. So no matter how they try to dress up allegations, plaintiffs are basically alleging that the defendants substantially assisted fraud by providing ordinary services that anyone could use for lawful purposes, but that some used for unlawful purposes. Now, the judge wrote, such an argument fails for the same reasons at why a bank does not substantially assist a money launderer who washes his cash through the bank's accounts, and why WhatsApp does not substantially assist a drug dealer who coordinates a sale on its messaging service. Simply providing the platform on which a fraud takes place is not the same as substantially assisting the fraud itself. So now, I guess with future suits that come in kind of like this, they can't blame the creators on it. So that is pretty cool. That's good news. That is just a, what is that? That's innovation. This changes the rules that we didn't have before. Because before in the past, you made a site, like, who was that guy? Was that Charlie Schwab? Was it him with Bitfinex or Bitmine? He made an exchange. People used it to buy Bitcoin, then used Bitcoin to use it on the Silk Road to buy drugs or illegal activities out there. And they're blaming him for creating this app for where the person got the crypto from. So I guess this is going to change those rules out there and out there going forward now. So it's like, just because they create something Yeah, I'm just getting so sidetracked now. But yeah, so way to go, Uniswap. Love it. This is definitely going to what does this even want to do? I don't even know what I'm saying now. But yeah, so speaking of that, they beat their class action lawsuit. Let's lead this into our final article on a token out there, which is tanking because the Japan Prime Minister is not actually a part of it. So you got to be careful with some celebrity coins out there where they claim X person is involved with the project. And then when that X person comes out saying, I'm actually unaware of this, I'm not a part of this at all, the token tanks. So you should really be sure if you get into like a meme coin out there created by a creator or celebrity, truly see if they're a part of it and just know the risks that come with it. So again, Japan PM dumps Sane token, which is on Solana meme coin, and then it tanks. So Sane token, a Solana-based token, has crashed roughly 75% from its peak after Japan's Prime Minister, Sanae Takachi, denied her involvement with it. Now, another politician under the meme coin frenzy. On a post made through X social network on March 2nd, Japan's Prime Minister, Sanae Takahashi, clarified that she has no affiliation with the so-called Sanae token and warned the public against assuming any official endorsement just because a coin uses her name or image. I have absolutely no knowledge of this token, nor has my office been informed about what this token entails. She stated, ending that the post with a warning that she wants to make sure that the public is not misled, despite the Sanae token's website issuing a disclaimer explicitly saying that it is not affiliated with or endorsed by Ms. Takahashi. So, hey, they already did their job and said they're not a part of it. So this is, I guess, on retail people for not reading the fine print. But Japanese outlets report that the following Sanae statement on X, Sanae's token fell more than 50% within 4 hours, while Wu blockchain positions the drop to around $6 million. Now here's the Wu blockchain tweet. According to GMGN, the Solana-based meme coin taken Sanae token briefly reached a market cap of $27.72 million before dropping to around $6 million. The top 3 addresses hold about 60% of the token supply, and many leading addresses show token inflow activity. Now that is a red flag, especially if you're getting into the meme coins. Just try and take a chance out there. If you see the token is there's 3 accounts out there that hold 60% of the supply, you got to think those got to be 3 of the creators out there, and they're potentially going to rug it. They hold the major. It's got to wait for it to pump, and then boom, there goes that 60%. But not too long, another political leader, Argentina's president Javier Milei, had his own fallout with another Solana-based token after he was accused of being part of the fraudulent scheme following his endorsement of the Libra token. Now, was that 2 years ago or 1 year ago? Time is flying by so fast now. But Sanae token in the Solana meme coin context. Solana tokens was announced on February 25th by Japanese entrepreneur Yuji Mizuguchi through No Border, a YouTube channel that focused on political content. Now, the project was launched at the peak of Solana's meme coin frenzy with an objective to be incentive for No Borders, Japan's backed project aiming to update democracy with AI and Web3. But built like many Solana narrative coins, it tried to tap into hype around Japan's new prime minister and broader political trade memes. Now, the name of the project comes from the slogan Takaichi's inherited from the former PM Shinzo Abe. Now, No Borders claims that the name Sanae is a symbol of democratically elected leader rather than any formal government backing. Now, again, a takeaway for traders out there. For traders, this signifies something way bigger than just another funny meme coin scandal. According to data from the Bitcoinist and our sister website on Solana, meme coins routinely swing 70 to 90% in a matter of hours, and many celebrities or narrative plays bleeding 94 to 99% from their peaks once the initial hype fades. So in a market wired for 10x runs followed by near total retracements, the only real edge is treating these positions as short-term, high-risk trades, sizing small relative to your stack, planning exits on the way up, and never assuming that a catchy story or famous name will be there to catch the fall. And yeah, even that's way too risky too, because you gotta hope there's still liquidity in it. Like they're saying, you can experience these 70 to 90%, even 99% swings in just a matter of hours. 10x runs up within a 3-hour period, and then in that same 3-hour period, straight run down. And again, you may be trying to pull out your money from your trade going up, but hey, there's no liquidity anymore. Somebody's already pulled enough, or everyone's trying to pull out at the same time you are. So now you're 10x is actually really pulling you in a negative 0.10x or something out there. So you gotta be aware of liquidity. You may see the amount of coins like on there, but if you try to like trade it for another coin out there, you won't be getting as much of it. And if you ever question it, it's usually because there's no more liquidity in there, and that's just its value now. So yeah, so that's the Sine token dumping because it's no affiliation with the actual Japanese prime minister. And all right, so that's it for the news. Last little bits of news here on Twitter. I saw that Maris liquidating their Bitcoin too right now. We got BitTier doing their liquidations, but they said we may hold Bitcoin for a long-term investment purpose and may also buy or sell Bitcoin from the time to time. Now, subject to market conditions, our capital allocations priorities. Hear more from our VP of Investors and Relations, Rob Samuels. Now, as stated on Mars' earning call in 2026, we expect to continue monetizing Bitcoin opportunistically to enhance our financial flexibility, including to provide liquidity or to fund capital projects and other initiatives that we believe enhance long-term shareholder value, subject to market conditions and our capital allocations priority. So I'm showing inherent costs. So again, when we're getting all this news about like these Bitcoin mining comes liquidating their Bitcoin holdings, it's not so much bearish news. Some people may see it at that, take it, and then want to go, oh, price going to dip, I want to sell. They're doing it because they strategically have a plan to just keep their money, to keep their business floating, as well as just increasing revenue wherever they can. If it's not producing over here, they got to make some changes and just throw capital where it's needed best. So this is the second Bitcoin mining company to be liquidating some Bitcoin at the current moment. Again, BitTier was first. I covered that, I think, maybe a month ago or 2 months, and now it's Mara Holdings. But they're still going to have some of their Bitcoin stash, and both companies do say like they will get back into accumulating it when the time is right. And so that is it for the news. Again, has there been any changes in our fear and greed index? Nope, still at 20 since the beginning of the show. Bitcoin is currently sitting at $68,000 as we speak right now. Let's take a look at crypto bubbles, see where the market is actually going for altcoin space. And lots of red right now. It is a red day. But River is up 32%. What does River even do? Who are they? River. Let's see. Can we get some more data on them? Let's see. Market, hour, day trade. I could have swore you're able to get some more information on these guys. Block list. No, you can't. But yeah, so River's up 32%. Nice. Who's the next biggest guy? Well, biggest guy in red is Pippin, negative 22.1%. Yeah, be careful with the meme coins. They can dump really fast. This is like the hour chart down 7%. So just be careful out there. I would always say just keep stacking Bitcoin because especially right now, you do not know when the bottom is truly going to hit. Are we still going to see a 60,000 to 45? Some people believe that's the cycle and go down, and that's their buying opportunities. Or we could just keep going up from here and we start our second run, and I would love to see that happen. So just dollar cost average like Michael Saylor did yesterday, purchased another couple million for 67,000 average cost. And yeah, he doesn't care about fluctuation. He just knows where Bitcoin's going, and that's where all of us stand. So everybody have an awesome day today. I will see you tomorrow with some more crypto news. So take care.